Thank you. A man walking through 14 states to raise money for veteran organizations stopped in Lafayette for the night. This morning, he was able to meet a local man he calls an inspiration. News 18's Kelly Roberts has more on his journey for the fallen.
It was an early morning for Chuck Lewis. He packed up his tent outside the Veterans of Foreign Wars building in Lafayette and continued his 6-month walk across the country to raise money for veteran programs. Lewis, a retired Marine sergeant from Montana, says he decided to start walking for the fallen when a Marine in his hometown committed suicide.
According to the Department of Defense, since 2005, we have lost more active duty members to suicide than we have in combat.
Lewis has raised nearly $27,000 and met many supporters on the way. One of those supporters visited him in Lafayette Sunday. Marine Sergeant Mark Dolfini started standing for the fallen. Dolfini met Lewis and saluted him as he left. Lewis says Dolfini's standing for the fallen was an inspiration to him. Both men considered the meeting an honor.
For me to see this come full circle, where there's a Marine coming through doing the same thing, I think it's outstanding. It's extremely humbling to think that somebody's out there actually listening to what you're saying and what you're trying to do.
Lewis says the money he raises in each state will go back to veteran programs in that state. So far, he has raised $2,000 in Indiana.
Since I'm only going through 14 states, I keep track of the monies that I do bring in from each state, and those monies will go back to those states because I know every state has their own programs to support our wounded and disabled.
The donations keep coming in, but he says the awareness he raises is just as good as the money.
I hear so many stories like, well, we had our own airman, we had our own soldier, we had our own Marine take his own life right here.
Lewis has 2 more months of his journey, but he says he is always home where his military brothers and sisters are.
I would say Semper Fi and Hoorah.
Reporting in Lafayette, Kelly Roberts, News 18.